Hello and welcome to another episode of the Motorway Man, and it's finally the time, guys, part number 4 of my 4-part series where I'm exploring service station signage. In part 1 we looked at approach service station signage, in part 2 we looked at internal service station signage, funnily enough featuring is one of the signs on screen now. In part 3 we looked at A-road service station signage, and in part 4, which is on today's part, we'll be looking at some more rare and older signs that we don't see very often. So just to clarify, in the first part of the video I'll be showing you some rare signs, and in the second part of the video I'll be showing you some older signs and going through a bit of an evolution of service station signage with you as well, and how it's become the way it's become. So with any further ado, let's get into the video. Now the first signs are going to be the rare ones. So our first rare sign we're looking at today is this one here. Now this says tiredness can kill, take a break. Now I don't see a lot of these signs anymore because these are what are called optional signs, whereby the operator can choose whether they want the sign to be there. Now it does convey quite a strong message saying, if you're sleepy or fatigued, and you're still behind the wheel of a car, you may well kill someone. So that's what that sign is trying to represent. And it's basically saying, if you're tired, you need to pull over at the next service station. But as I say, that sign's optional, and not a lot of operators choose to use that one. This next sign here, you might remember from my A-road service station signs video. Now if you don't, this sign is an old-fashioned green style because the modern signs used are white. So yeah, this is one of the old-fashioned green style signs, which you don't see a lot of anymore, because in 2015 all of them were meant to be removed. So if you do want to see a sign like this, I know I don't want to give you too many ideas, but if you did want to go on your own special quest, try the A19. That's a good place to look, just so I'd let you know there. So this next sign is the service is fully open sign. Now this can be displayed just a small sign like this, or a small sign connected to a larger one like this. Now you find those signs at the likes of larger service stations or small. It can be any size of service station that is just opened. For example, Leeds Skelton Lake Services is quite new, opening in 2020. Tour on the channel, by the way, be sure to watch it. So this service station is quite new, and it lets you know it's all fully open after its repairs or construction work. So quite a useful one. This next sign is very rare because it is only found on the M5 motorway. So out of all 70 plus motorways in the UK, only the M5 has a sign like this. And it's quite useful because it says the distance to the next service station and how much they're charging for petrol. For example, in 10 miles, there's the services charging £1.25 per petrol and £1.22 for diesel. So quite a useful sign. Now guys, we are done with the rare signs. It's time to move on to the old signs. So, the very first sign that was on the motorway is this one. Now this is at the approach to Newport Pagnell services, and all it does is just advertise fuel, because originally that's all there was. So there was not really too much at a service station, but as I'm going to show you through the evolution of signage, I'm going to show you how it's sort of become the way it's come and everything like that. But this was the very first original service station sign. Now this next sign we start to get a name, and we do start to get a few symbols as well. For example, Watford Gap services and all the old-fashioned symbols. They look like similar symbols to the one used on A-roads. You can find out more about that in my A-road service station sign video. So yeah, this was the start of the use of the symbols, and was the start of giving service stations their names as well, which is quite a good thing. Now this next sign here, it's the start of the service station giving itself its name. As we can see, the old-fashioned symbols have been removed, but to replace it we've got the name of the operator. So it's Hearts had more services. Funnily enough, video coming on that one on Sunday for a tour if you were curious, and it does have the operator, which is Welcome Break. Note the old style Welcome Break logo. Now this next sign here is, we can certainly start to see the resemblance of a modern sign, because we've got again the operator logo at the top, road chef there. We do have the older sort of symbols, they return, we've got the name, and we've also got some petrol prices as well. Now this next sign, again, we're looking even more modern. Do note the start of the usage of the brand logo, such as Costa and Burger King, but still we are using the old symbols. Now this sign still exists today, and all signs from this point you can still see today, although the old style designs like this are getting more rare. Fun fact there. Now this next one, again, we can see it's advertising brands such as Starbucks and Waitrose. Got the old-fashioned symbols still. The manual petrol logos have been removed, and because we have the more modern electronic screens. And then finally, this final sign, they're the signs we have today, and this has been the standard design since 2012. As I say, the old style signs, some of them still remain, especially from 7 View signs onwards. But yeah, this was one of the original signs, and how they've all developed into this one right here. And we can see the big name, big operator logo, and all service station signs now feature the 6 brands as well, which could be within the service station. So anyway guys, that'll do it for today. I do hope you've enjoyed this little bonus series. I've got a few good ideas for series coming in the future, so I hope you check them out, of course. Hartshead More Services Tour coming on Sunday. Be sure to check that out. Watch part 1, 2 and 3 if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Twitter please as well. Thank you there. Thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and goodbye.